You've probably wanted to run local AI image and video generation on your MacBook Neo. If you don't know what that is, it's the cheapest Mac Apple's ever released, and honestly, one of the most common new Macs out there right now. And yes, you can actually run local AI generation on it, using ComfyUI through an app called Promptus. Promptus is a local generation app built on ComfyUI, and it runs right on your MacBook Neo. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to use it and what it can actually do. If you've been searching for how to run AI image or video generation on a MacBook Neo, this is that video. Let's get into it. Here's what I'm working with: an A18 Pro chip, the same one from the iPhone 16 Pro family, 8 GB of unified memory, 60 GB a second of memory bandwidth. There's no bigger Neo to buy. This is the whole machine, top to bottom. Promptus runs two things locally: ComfyUI itself, the actual generation engine, on port 8288, and Cozy alongside it, which is what turns raw workflows into something I can click through without reading documentation. I started both, watched them flip to running, and confirmed the backend live. It's reporting MPS, Apple's Metal Path, with the full 8 GB visible to it. Setup needs internet once to pull the app and the model files. After that, everything I'm about to show you runs completely offline. First real test, Stable Diffusion 1.5, a small, well-established model, exactly the kind of thing I'd expect a machine like this to handle comfortably. I typed a prompt for a whiskey glass: condensation, amber light, ice, set it to 768 square, 20 steps, and hit generate. 3 minutes and 42 seconds later, it was done. No cloud, no credits, just my machine. The result holds up: convincing glass, ice, a little smoke, warm rim light. I popped open the actual node graph behind it, and it's the real thing. Checkpoint loader, text encoders, sampler, VAE decode, save node. The same structure anyone using ComfyUI directly would build by hand. Promptus didn't simplify the engine, it just wired it up for me. A few things I use constantly. Prompt Enhance takes a lazy four-word idea and turns it into an actual detailed prompt before I generate. Genuinely useful, because I'm not great at writing prompts from scratch. Prompt history means every prompt I've used is one click away, not buried in a notes app somewhere. And Image Describer read my whiskey photo back to me correctly. The glass, the amber liquid, the ice, even the lighting style, which is a nice way to double-check a result actually looks like what I meant. I wanted more than Stable Diffusion 1.5 could give me. A newer model, and real local music generation, and 8 GB is a real number to work around, not just a spec on a page. Here's exactly what worked. For a second image model, I used SDXL Turbo, a 7 GB checkpoint, one step, 512 square. It completed in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Crisp lighting, a completely different look from Stable Diffusion 1.5, and zero extra setup beyond picking it from the catalog. For Flux, a newer, sharper model family, the trick was using the smaller quantized version instead of the full-size one, a 2 GB Flux checkpoint paired with a lighter text encoder. Run at 256 square with a CPU side decoder. That combination got me a real coherent Flux image on this machine in about 5 minutes. And for audio, this is the one I didn't expect to work at all. A smaller A-step setup. 10 seconds of output, both text encoders running on the CPU instead of the main chip. Just under 8 minutes, and it returned a real valid 10-second piece of music, generated completely locally. Same 8 GB as setup, same machine. The difference was picking the right version of each model instead of the default one. Promptus also has hundreds of other models that work across images, video, and audio. I'm going to keep testing them on this MacBook Neo and keep trying to make more of these generations run in less than 1 minute. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see the upcoming videos. Not everything worked. Here's what I'd skip so you don't waste 10 minutes chasing something that isn't going to finish on this machine. I tried Z-Image at the smaller Q2 size, but a 4 GB model, the catalog's own 512 square 4-step preset. 10 minutes later, nothing. Promptus stayed running the whole time. No crash, no error on screen. It just never came back with an image. The full-size Flux-Schnell checkpoint, the default one, not the quantized version I used earlier, is 17 gigabytes and it doesn't get a slow failure. It hits a hard memory wall in about 27 seconds, a clean MPS out-of-memory error right at the edge of what this chip allows. Flux-2 failed differently again. Not a memory crash, but a compatibility one. About 3.5 minutes in, it hit a data format this chip's graphics backend doesn't support. I even tried patching around that specific error. The patch worked, no more crash, but 10 minutes later, still no image. Fixing the error didn't fix the result, and the stock version of Promptus's own Ace music generator, the one I didn't modify, ran for 10 minutes and simply never finished. Same quiet non-completion as Z-Image, in a completely different category entirely. So here's the shape of it. Stable Diffusion 1.5 and SDXL Turbo work as is. Flux and music generation work, but only with the smaller, specifically configured versions I showed you earlier, not the defaults. And a few things, at least as I tested them, just don't fit in 8 gigabytes yet, no matter how you configure them. For anything that doesn't fit locally, a wider, more editorial image, or actual video, I switched to Promptus's online lane. Same account, same catalog, just toggle to online. I generated a muscle car on a rain-slick mountain road through Seedream, a fighter jet through Flux, and a 5-second video of that same car through SeeDance. All three came back finished, and the video especially is something this machine was never going to render locally. That's exactly what the online lane is for. If you want to automate any of this, Cozy exposes a real local API on port 8190, the same service I started back in setup. I called it directly, listed my installed workflows, submitted a generation as a plain JSON request, and polled it until it finished. That's enough to hand this to a coding agent, pick a workflow, fill in the variables, submit, wait, done. No clicking required. So, can you run real local AI generation on the cheapest Mac Apple's ever sold? Yes. And now you know exactly where. Stable Diffusion 1.5 and SDXL Turbo straight out of the box. Flux and real music generation with the right smaller setup. And a few things, Z-Image, Flux-2 Klein, the stock Ace Step preset, that don't fit in 8 gigabytes yet, at least not the way I tried them. If you've got a MacBook Neo, you already own a machine that can do this. Grab Promptus, start with Stable Diffusion 1.5. Go from there. Drop a comment if you get this running on your own Neo, especially if you find a way around any of the limits I hit. Other people trying this on their own machine will want to know.